This is LA's first.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. We're all about manifestation, transformation, and breakthroughs. It's time to claim your birthright of prosperity, vitality, and love. So grab your tea or coffee because together we're awakening the world. May you live your truth. Live from Los Angeles, we come together each day to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, and align with universal law. We also come together in community in Soul Society and New Thought Global. We are committed to enlightenment, empowerment, and entrepreneurship. We truly believe that when somebody awakens, they have a gift and message to bring to the world, and together, we're awakening the world. So today, I want to talk to you about the opportunity is now. This is the title of today's talk. The opportunity is now. So yesterday I was on a walk with a dear girlfriend over in Beverly Hills. Oftentimes during this time, I've been going over about 5, 6 o'clock in the evening over to a beautiful area through the neighborhoods of Beverly Hills and going up kind of in power walks up through the neighborhoods. And sometimes we'll go down into the actual like heart of Beverly Hills and get a tea or something like that. And last night we went and had a little tea and took it down to the courtyard next to the Montage, which is a very famous, iconic hotel in the heart of Beverly Hills. And they've got this beautiful courtyard right next to it. And on the other side of the courtyard is restaurants and restaurants above and offices and all kinds of things. Well, we go into this courtyard yesterday and it's completely empty. The hotel is still shut down from the pandemic and the restaurant is closed, and the restaurant above actually went out of business before the pandemic. So here we were sitting in the middle of one of the most beautiful courtyards, one of the most expensive real estate probably in the world, and just sitting completely empty. Devastation, if you will, you know. And I was sitting there thinking, and my girlfriend and I are both spiritual entrepreneurs, and that's why I love my girlfriend so much, that are soul-based, and we pray together, and we do business together, and we just like to innovate and think about all kinds of creating in life. And we're sitting there chatting about life, and she's actually in real estate, and we're looking around, and we're thinking, look at the opportunity right now. Look at the opportunity. When people look at what's going on in the world, some people see it from the aspect like it's all going down and the fear and all that. And we look at it like, oh my gosh, look at all this opportunity that's sitting right here. And did you know that during the Great Depression in the 1920s and so on, that there were more millionaires that were created during that time than any other time in American history? And so not everyone suffered during the Great Depression. Lots of people did suffer, but more people became millionaires during this time than any other time in history. So the reason why is because opportunities that were not present, during the boom of the 1920s, but during 1929 and 30s and into the Depression, became available. You know, there were so many businesses that went out of business, right? So all of a sudden you've got people that went out of business. So there's still demand. There's still people need things, right? So there's this great demand that happens, and the costs to begin business are much lower. You can actually, start a business with less money. You can get loans easier, like in today's what we're going to talk about right now, and everyone's sitting around waiting. So your competition is like going away. There's things at bargain prices because people aren't willing to take the risk and take debt on and things like that, right? And finding employees and finding help is easier than ever because the unemployment rate is so high, right? So here we are right now, and you're going to get a little bit of my financial geek that I am. When I'm not working or spending time with dear friends and doing spiritual work, one of my loves is watching financial YouTube videos. I actually love watching. I have kind of 3 primary people that I kind of watch, and Ray Dalio is one of them. Ray Dalio is he has the largest hedge fund in the world. I think he's worth about $18 billion himself. He's been in the industry for, I have no idea, 40 years or plus. Dr. Kiyosaki, him and his wife, Kim, He wrote Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and he's a great go-to to understand the basics of financials. There's another gentleman called George Gammon. He's actually kind of not a big name in the industry, but I've stumbled upon him, and he actually lives down South America, but I think he lived up here before, or no, maybe not. Anyway, he's great at really understanding cycles as well. He really gets some great charts together and really teaches. And I just think it's really fascinating, especially right now as we're in this time right now. So the reason why I'm saying this is because obviously I work with people who are deciding to really rise in their spiritual entrepreneurship or in their spiritual leadership or taking their soul-based businesses online. And I truly believe that right now is one of the greatest opportunities to launch your company online because so many people are looking online. They're sitting in their homes. They're online more than ever. They are, they're not necessarily going to go back to their office and commute to work. They're going to be doing their work from home. So the online world was big, and now it's exploding through this entire pandemic and lockdown and stuff, right? So right now is, churches, they can only have a maximum of like 100 people even when their doors reopened, right? So people are doing their services online. People are looking for coaches online because people realize also that their shifting in values are changing dramatically right now. So the opportunity is now, right now more than ever. And people might say, what do you mean? You're crazy. We're going into a depression, right? So let's break this on down for a minute, okay? I've been doing a lot of research around this, a lot. When I'm driving, I put on YouTube videos around this. I've been researching from the best of the best minds in the industry that can really educate us and help us understand what's going on and kind of being able to somewhat predict. And I don't think we can ever totally predict, but we can take a look at some of the cycles that have happened in the past, and we can look at what's happening now. And so I think one of the greatest videos on that was done by Ray Dalio. He has a great video out there on the machine of the economical machine. And he walks you through the 100-year cycle and what happened in the Great Depression and why that happened and why we're in a very similar predicament as a country, but we can choose to do something different about it. So what happens is there's long-term debt cycles, there's short-term debt cycles, there's all kinds of things that happen. And right now we're in a real predicament. And the reason why is because, one, what happens when we get into kind of financial disarray is the central bank is able to basically print more money, or they're able to drop interest rates. And right now the interest rates are so low that they can't drop them anymore. So that's not really going to work anymore, right? And if they print more money, they printed trillions of dollars in the 2008 downturn. So if they print a lot more money, money's almost like, it's just becoming worthless because there's so much money in print, right? Which means we'll have a lot of inflation, which means, and I'm going to bring you back to why it's so important to launch your business online, because your online business is assets, okay? Because it's generating cash flow, okay? So right now is the greatest opportunity in history. So right now we are looking at a potential major depression and how the central bank will most likely try and put that off, if you will, or change the illusion of it, because we know that money is just an illusion and this whole thing's a game here in this universe, that they will most likely print trillions of dollars. And where that money goes is, it will go a little bit to the different things, but it primarily goes to assets, okay? So it'll go into homes and into the stock market and into where people borrow money, because the entire flow and currency of an economical system is all based on debt, okay? If you take a look at the amount of money out there in the world, I believe it's only about like $3 trillion or something is actual cash. The rest is all debt. So how we keep in flow is actually how our debt. So if debt goes away, then we don't have a flow to our currency. We just won't have a flow to it. And that's a very advanced conversation, and I'd highly recommend watching Ray Dalio's video on that. The other person that I watch is Dr. Kiyosaki, him and his wife Kim, amazing people, and they really teach how assets versus liabilities and the basis of how to get ahead financially. And one thing I've learned over years of being somebody who loves finances and also understands and loves being a sole entrepreneur is that we've got to build assets. And so right now, it's imperative that you build and your skill set and your mindset, because that is your greatest asset. No economical downturn can take that away from you. And yes, assets are great, like owning a home for sure, but I truly believe that what we're not being taught, that what all these people have in common, Ray Dalio, Kim and Dr. Kiyosaki, George Gammon, all the great people, is they have invested in their mindset and in their skill set and in their consciousness to be able to innovate in any market whatsoever. That's the greatest asset that we all have. So if you want to launch your business online, that is an asset as well, right? So say you have a course online, that is an asset as well. And, one thing that, I believe and predict that's going to happen in the future is that banks will begin to, they'll begin to give loans to people who are doing business online and have digital assets as well. And we already know they already do this. If you have technology, then they loan against that, right? But we have to understand and recognize that if something has cash flow, then it's considered an asset, right? It might not be a hard asset. It might be a soft asset, but we have to educate ourselves. I believe that the opportunity is now, as a spiritual coach or someone who's desiring to become, someone who's making an impact in the world. Right now, whether you want to go online or whether you want to open a spiritual center or whether you want to develop your community as, say someone that's doing real estate that's soul-based, right now is a great opportunity because people care the most about their spiritual awakening. They care the most about their values. Their values shift, and you'll watch it over and over again. I've watched it in 2008 downturn, and now is that the people that have done their inner work don't have as hard of a time during these transitions because they've done their inner work and they've got their values straight and they're living their truth. They're committed to what they're committed to. They're committed to their purpose and their legacy, no matter what's happening out there in the world. But for the people that haven't done that work, right now, it's like the ground they're on is really unstable because everything they thought they cared about is the rug's being pulled out underneath them. And so now all of a sudden, they do want to do their inner work. They want to do their inner healing work. They want to discover what really matters to them. They've lost their jobs or their job is not, stable. They don't know if it's going to be there next year. They want to launch their career that they've never launched before. They want to do their subconscious trauma work because they're so stressed out from this whole pandemic and lockdown that they realize that if they don't get their mind right, they're not going to be able to just have peace of mind, period. So right now is a super important time. Right now, the opportunity is greater than ever to become a spiritual coach, to become a spiritual practitioner, to step into your ministry, to step into being that soul entrepreneur, to taking your programs and your products online or out in the world, into the physical world as well. Right now, I believe, is the greatest opportunity of all because most people are sitting at home freaking out. Most people are looking at why they can't do business anymore. They're looking through that lens of why they can't do it instead of why they can do it. Right now is going to be the greatest time. There's going to be more millionaires and billionaires created out of this next decade than for sure ever in history. And I would say that is probably, that's a prediction, and that's more, I don't even think that's a prediction. I think that is like a guarantee, right? Is there a chance that the entire money system will go away? Of course there is. But it doesn't matter because whether it be Bitcoin or whether it be an exchange system or whether we keep the dollar or whatever that is, the people who innovate are going to innovate regardless. It doesn't matter which system. They will find a way to prevail because it is a mindset. It all begins in mind. And so right now, as a central bank will be printing trillions of dollars, and as the cost of starting a company is less because of the down markets, and because getting loans will be easier than ever right now, and everyone's sitting and waiting, and finding employees will be easier because we literally have potentially a 30% unemployment right now. So if there's a video by George Gaiman, I think it was last week, and he shows how and I don't mark my word on this, but he shows stats that show that what the government's even showing right now is not true stats, that we even could be potentially 30% unemployment right now based off of some other statistics. And so the point is that imagine 30% of the people are sitting waiting, okay? And yet people still need to eat, they still want to consume, they still need stuff. So the demand goes up dramatically. And you're thinking, well, no, because people don't have money to spend. Well, yes, but there's a lot of people that are very, very wealthy that still want to spend through all this as well. There's people still that need things. They need supplies. They need all the stuff. And so there's still a demand in particular areas, right? Look at the online world. People are sitting at home. They need entertainment, right? There's the entertainment industry is hurting in some ways, like to go out and make movies, but the consumption online of media and shows is exponential. The consumption of wanting community is growing exponentially. The consumption online, people need to read things, and they may not be able to buy a book, but they can buy something that's less money that is in digital format, right? So you have to constantly think of innovating. And one of the things, as some of the girls come into Soulciety, we have a very organized system of developing them taking their business online. There's an 8-step pillar and so on and so forth. But the one thing that you can't do for people is have them recognize, because so many people have gone to, traditional schools and traditional work, and they want everything laid out for them step by step. Right now, the opportunity is now, and the people who are able to innovate are the people who will prevail. No one can hold your hand and take you every single step of the way. You have to learn how to open your mind. You've got to learn how to just try things and keep moving and keep grooving and keep pivoting. And that is the entrepreneur. If you do not have that ability, then I do not recommend to be an entrepreneur. If you need all the results and facts in front of you before you take action, you are not an entrepreneur. Okay? The entrepreneurs are people who love to innovate. They love to see the vision they love to live the vision before it's even, possible. They love to create what's impossible into what's possible. Okay? And right now, the opportunity is now. The people who will make the most money and become the millionaires and the billionaires are the visionaries. They're the visionaries. Period. They may have partners that are the detail people and all that, okay? So as you go into today, I want you to open your eyes. Imagine when you're in your home, stuck in your home. Imagine how many people are stuck in their home and they're sitting on their couch watching Netflix and Hulu, doing nothing, doing games, right? Those people are taking themselves out of the game. Think about the opportunity right now. It's time to create. And you may not make money the first little bit out of it, but again, you're going to create. It takes time sometimes to create things. You've got to have faith, because that's what we do. That's why we live on spiritual principle. That's why we know that whatever it is that we truly desire, and we water it every day once we've planted that seed, and we embody the mindset and the skill set and everything that it takes to have the embodiment and have that grow, that this is your time. That this is the opportunity right now. The universe will never not give you an opportunity. There is only abundance in this universe. And if you open your eyes, you're going to see there is more opportunity than ever right now. And so on that note, I know your birthright is prosperity. Your birthright is abundance. Your birthright is to live the greatest version of you and have the greatest life. And that is the truth. And I will never, ever deny that. No one can ever prove my heart and my conviction of that. And so today, may you live your truth and may you claim your birthright of prosperity right now. Okay? Have a great one, you guys. May you live your truth. Thank you for tuning in to Soulciety and Dr. Erin podcast. If you've had a calling to be a spiritual leader or coach, you can go to soulciety.com and check out our free training. If you've received value here, I would love it if you take a moment and give a 5-star review. In exchange, I have a ton of free gifts for you. Grab your free awakening book, 40 guided meditations, and digital manifesting masterclass. I also have a free money meditation and worksheet for you so you can begin to break through your scarcity mindset and claim your birthright of prosperity. You can get all of your gifts and learn about our upcoming transformational events in my bio link in both Instagram and Facebook. That's under drerin.tv, which is DRERIN.tv. Also, I'd love to invite you into our free private community on Facebook under groups called Soulciety. That is facebook.com/groups/Soulciety. That's SOULCIETE. Have a divine day and may you live your truth.